Hey there, how are you doing? It's been so long since we had a sit down, make a video, cup of coffee sort of thing. And how are you? It's lovely to be here with you. I know you're watching on video, but it feels like I'm here with you, to me anyway. I always kind of have this sense of people watching, you know. So, nice cup of black coffee and yeah. Let me know in the comments how you're doing, you know, and subscribe to this channel and all that sort of thing. I know it's been a long while since we did one of these, so today just seemed like the right day. It's funny how things kind of work out like that. And I got a message from somebody yesterday asking me a question, which is not the question I have right now, which is why do noses itch the second you start making a video? But it's one of my little nervous tics. I get this kind of itchy nose. I got a message from somebody yesterday who came to a live session, an in-person session that I was running a few weeks ago. And it's just astonishing to be around live people again, rather than just on the internet and on Zoom and all that sort of thing. Absolutely incredible. And the question was this, it was, you know, this person worked with teachers in the past, or a particular teacher in the past, and the teacher's approach would be sort of to guide you to find the negative in yourself and then to kind of work on removing it. And the question is that the right way to go about things, or is it better to focus on the positive, or is there another way? Basically. And I talk about this in the book Signposts a lot, because it has been a kind of feature of the way people have gone at things for a long time, and it's culturally bound into a lot of our societies, this idea of self-improvement. But the difficulty with that, it goes into things much further in the book, so you know, do grab a copy of Signposts if this question interests you, and have a look in there. Is that because of the conditioning that the culture and the society and the familial situation uses to create us into the somebody that is a function of that family, society, and so on, and the culture. We look outwardly for clues as to how to sort of move forward in our lives. We have this underlying sense of things not being right, or difficult or something, and we just don't know what to do about it, because our entire training is to look outwards, to keep sort of, you know, it has to be here, it has to be here, it has to be here. So we look to a teacher, or we look to a relationship, or we look to our therapy, or we look to the culture to have answers in it. We look to our religions and so on and so on. And while there may be something within that, it's the place that we're coming from that is the most important aspect. So if we're coming from that created self, we might call that the egoic self, then all we can do is self-improve the ego. But actually, when we practice in the way that I like to work with people, and certainly I work in my own practice is very, very simple. All I do is I drop everything every day and rest in my soul. So this is a more spiritual way of working, you might say, you know, but proper use of the word spiritual. It's not an add-on to oneself. So it's not an ego idea of the soul, and it's not a kind of a mind idea or a feeling idea of the soul. It's the actual, you know, soul itself. And you might think, well, how the heck do you get to that? And the route is actually very, very simple. If you follow what feels authentic and what feels loving, in a true sense of that word, in that there's a kind of an openness and a freedom within that, even in the smallest way, then that is taking you in the right direction. So by following that kind of inner compass, as it were, you feel into that within yourself. Some of us, share a way of working where a typical meditation, there'll be an element where we say, feel into the life of your body. This actually is a really old thing, pre-Tibetan practice, pre-Bon even, from a system called Dzogchen. You feel the life in your body, because the life in your body is what comes first. So by resting into that, by feeling into that, and then you notice the awareness that comes sort of before that, that kind of steadies you into the self, as it were. So what I would say about this kind of crushing the negative, going towards the positive sort of thing, and trying to add the positive to yourself, is that we don't need to worry about that too much. What actually happens is as you access some actual love in your own heart, that's naturally there already, that you drop out of ego as best you can. So ego can't drop out of ego, but love drops you out of ego, you see. You drop out of that and you come back into the self. So this is the path of self-realization. Then you learn who you actually are from there. And then all you have to do is anything that doesn't fit with that in the conditioned world, anything that's not chiming true with that authentic sense of self, you begin to unclench from it, because it's not you. You realize that it's not actually you. So you can follow the path of your own life very, very easily. It's a very simple, beautiful way to work. And this is kind of what I'm going to be teaching when I head to Omega. We'll be working on this. I'm heading to the Omega Institute in New York at the end of August. So we'll be looking at this. And I've got some sessions coming up in London across the autumn. So, if you can make it to any of those, we'll sit and work on this sort of properly together, or just grab the book, because what happens is that you kind of make a little bit of progress, you feel a tiny wee bit better, and then the next set of blockages kind of occur. So the whole point behind the Signpost book was, here's the step forward into awareness, or the step into awareness and love. Here's the blockages that are going to come up at this stage. You think you're okay, but here's some more stuff that's about to come. Here it is. Okay, how do you move through that or integrate that? And it just goes on right the way through to kind of wakefulness, awakening. So it's a kind of a slow process. By slow, I mean it's an authentic process. It's not a rushing to the end. It's authenticity day by day. And the authenticity isn't coming from me telling you about authenticity, and you trying to add something to yourself. Authenticity is within you. Life is within you. So if we think of that awareness that is aware of the life in you as the first place in you, then that is kind of what you have to begin allowing the outside self to begin to align with. So you allow it to kind of literally flow into your actions in the easy places first, and then in the places that you find more difficult. So at first you can maybe do it while you're walking in nature. You have a bit of a sense of this deeper self, or in your meditation in your room on your own. And then you might think, oh, you know what, I'm going to try this at work. I'm going to try this with this family member. I'm going to try this with my friend. I'm just going to sort of see if I can be of myself, as it were. And then what you find is that the things that are set up as kind of virtues, compassion, empathy, or the precepts from Buddhism, some expressions of the commandments and so on, you'll find that those are natural expressions rather than add-ons to yourself. So you don't have to add on rules and try to make yourself be a positive person, you are life itself. So the positivity is there, the vibration, if you want to use that word, resets back to sort of soul level vibration, which is kind of almost kind of beyond measurable, you know. So it's not raise your vibration, although you can think of it in that way. It's actually, you know, start to tune your instruments. If the body is your instrument, then you need to kind of tune in with the kind of, you know, the one note of your soul that is kind of chiming out, and so you make a beautiful chord with yourself in your life, and your life becomes music rather than, you know, Schoenberg. Although, you know, it's okay to enjoy a bit of Schoenberg from time to time, or some 12 tone or something like that. Anyway, let me leave it at that. I want to keep this one short today. Do check out what we're up to over on the website, authenticliving.life. Do leave us a comment down below if this has been useful to you. And, you know, if you're working your way through signposts, let us know in the comments as well. That's really lovely to hear from people reading the book. It seems to be doing quite well. If you enjoy it and it's being meaningful to you, then please consider leaving us an Amazon review, a nice 5-star Amazon review, because that really helps get things seen. And if you don't like it, don't leave a review. It's okay to not leave a review, so that other people can find it who it would be useful for, if you see what I mean. Lots of love. Take care of yourself. See ya.